Welcome to a return to oneness. My name is Eddie, and I help people open their hearts. This discussion is on Learning to Master Your Triggers, Part 3. Step 1. Be grateful. When most hear of this step for the first time, they are generally perplexed by it. They do not understand the importance that gratitude plays in living a spiritual life. For gratitude is the last thing on their minds when they become triggered. All they want is to deal with what triggered them, and gratitude just does not seem helpful. In fact, in a situation like being triggered, gratitude is the last thing that enters the mind. It is for this reason that you must be willing to bring gratitude into the forefront of your mind once you are triggered. But why is gratitude the first step? Why is it so important in learning mastery? In order to understand the answer to those questions, you must first come to recognize what gratitude really is. While gratitude is certainly the state of being thankful, in truth it has a much richer and deeper meaning, one that lies hidden within the very origin of the word. And the deeper implications regarding this word are the very reason it is the first step in learning to master your triggers. Without this step, overcoming them would be impossible. Therefore, what are the deeper implications? The word gratitude simply comes from the Latin word gratus, which carries the following meanings: acceptable, agreeable, beloved, dear, grateful, as well as pleasing. As you can hear, the word has many more meanings than just the state of one who is grateful. And these meanings, these implications, reinforce this step's purpose. Furthermore, these implications give rise to the intention, the energy behind this step. And it is the energy behind this step which provides the power that moves you from bondage into true and unshakable peace and freedom. Yet, where does this intentionality, the power, lie within the implication given? Here is where the proverbial rubber meets the road. For once you are triggered, you have thus far always allowed the trigger to create a reaction where some form of resistance will follow. And to resist is simply to exert yourself so as to counteract, to oppose, or to defeat whoever or whatever has disturbed you. In other words, to resist or oppose who or what triggered you is to defend yourself from that which you perceived as having attacked or threatened you. In the exact moment you perceive yourself as having been attacked, whether the attack was verbal, physical, or emotional, you have only one of two options available to you. Again, those options are to react by defending yourself or to respond with love and declare your freedom. However, if you choose resistance, then you have chosen to remain powerless to that which triggered you, because you will believe yourself as having been made a victim yet once again. But you do have another option, and that option is to become grateful in that moment. For you will have closed the door on the past and will have brought your consciousness into the present moment. But what then does this simple action serve? By becoming grateful in the moment that you recognize you have been triggered, you are signaling to the universe that the old way of reacting no longer serves you. Yet, more importantly, your gratitude in that moment is a signal to the universe that you recognize that the trigger is no longer a reaction to a perceived attack or threat, but one that is a gift you have offered unto yourself. Yes, to become grateful is to recognize the trigger for what it is. The gift you have offered yourself to heal something that has been festering like a sore within you. In this manner, the trigger is no longer seen as something to cause you to react, but one where you have been provided the opportunity to heal a false belief, a false perception that you hold buried within your own mind, specifically the subconscious, which we all recognize by now as nothing more than the cesspool of denial. Look back at the implications of the word grateful, as given in its origin. For to recognize the trigger as something to be grateful for, because you see it as an opportunity to heal something within you, is to see the trigger as something acceptable and pleasing to you. This at first will appear to be a bitter pill to swallow. For most people cannot find any reason as to why they should be grateful for anything that upsets or disturbs them, much less to find it both agreeable and pleasing. That is just more than they can accept. In most instances, they consider the request to be grateful as just another assault on them. Yet these same ones know not of the freedom found in this first step, for they still believe that if they react strongly enough, they will overcome what triggered them. But herein lies the great error. For to react to what triggers them only serves but to strengthen their belief that they can be made a victim. Although reacting in the short term may feel good, it does not solve anything, for it only adds fuel to a smoldering fire. Therefore, the cycle continues, and it will do so until a choice to do something different is made. However, what does it mean to find a trigger agreeable and pleasing? Both words simply mean to be in harmony with something. Furthermore, when you are in harmony, you are in a state of tranquility. And, as you have already learned, tranquility is simply being in a state where you are not judging anyone or anything. Thus, the first step in the process of learning to master your triggers is truly where your first taste of true freedom is found. For by not judging anything, you are actively inviting not only healing, but the return of peace to your mind. And peace is where your power lies. For, as it has already been stated, peace is the prerequisite for the return of Christ consciousness to your mind. And it is from here that the Christ within you will help you with the remaining 7 steps. Yet, What most people fail to realize is peace has a prerequisite as well. What is its prerequisite? It is but love. Yes, love is the prerequisite for the return of peace to your mind. And when you become grateful, once you are triggered, you have met this requirement. But how is this? For isn't love different than gratitude? Can't someone have gratitude but not have love in his mind or heart? While it appears there were 3 questions asked, the questions really are but the same. And the answer is literally found in the word grateful itself. Recall that the Latin origin gratus also carries the implication beloved, which literally means to be love. Therefore, anytime you are grateful, you are quite literally being love. And love is what brings your mind into alignment, not only with the spiritual laws, but invites the awakening of Christ's consciousness within both your mind and heart. As such, love and gratitude go hand in hand. They cannot be separated. For one cannot be in gratitude unless she also recognizes love, especially the love of self. Understand, the first step rests on love. For unless you love yourself, the desire to be grateful, once you are triggered, will not even dawn within your mind. How could it? For love does not judge anything, because love only recognizes itself. And to love yourself requires that you recognize that you are worthy of awakening within Christ consciousness. Yet, most question their worthiness, for they do not believe that God set their worth, and what God deems worthy is worthy. Furthermore, contrary to popular belief, God does not take anything from anyone. For what He gave at creation is the same today as it was in the beginning. The time has come for each of us to understand what God gives is as eternal as is He. Your worthiness is therefore without question. You cannot lose it, but you can deny it. You have that right under the laws. However, your denial does not negate your worth, because the spiritual laws can neither be usurped nor negated. Thus, when you become willing to be grateful for having been triggered, you are demonstrating love, for you are giving love to yourself. And where there is love, both peace and joy must follow. This too is guaranteed under the laws. Recognize then that the first step of learning to master your triggers is the first step to your freedom. Freedom from the bondage of the past. Freedom from the bondage of grievances. Freedom from the bondage of judgments. Freedom from the bondage of egoic consciousness. And, most importantly, freedom from the bondage created by the lack of self-worth. All of this is accomplished through the act of becoming grateful. As should now be evident, gratitude acts as the hinges for which the door of opportunity, the opportunity to heal the pain of the past, is given unto you. And it is but you who gives you the healing necessary to overcome everything that triggers you. Even within this, find gratitude, for you hold the key to your freedom within your mighty hands, hands given the strength by the Creator to overcome all obstacles, so that you might once again dwell within the awareness of the very presence of love itself. With this in mind, declare your gratitude. Shout it from the rooftop. Declare that you are ready and willing to be free from the bondage of self. And the next time you are triggered, before you react, say the following statements to yourself. I am grateful for recognizing this trigger. I am grateful for the opportunity to heal the past. I am grateful for the opportunity to love myself the way God loves me. And I am grateful to be on the path of learning how to overcome and master those things which used to trigger me. In this, I am grateful indeed. Thank you for listening. Peace, love, and joy to all.